Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content. And if you are back, welcome back. Today I am here for my weekly WIP and Chat, which, if you're new, which many of you are, words are hard. WIP stands for work in progress and chat stands for chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting today, you guys, and just chatting about life and craftiness and all the things and just catching up a little bit. So hopefully I can keep you company and whatever you're up to today, whether it's crafting alongside me or if you're out and about, whatever that looks like, I'm just looking forward to spending a little time with you. So like I said, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting. It's called, I have the picture here. It's called Ha Ha Halloween. And here's the image. This is from Jaded Gem Shop and is licensed from the artist Martith Art and is just so ridiculously cute. I can't even. There's two versions of this image that are available on Jaded Gem Shop's website. There's this one, and there is a version that has the words Happy Halloween in the upper right hand corner. And I decided to go with just the version without the words. So I think this is so cute, the cute little fox. So I'm down here in this bottom right corner. I'm over halfway through this particular section, and so we'll finish that, I'm sure, in this WIP and Chat, and then move into this next section right here. This is actually the last column that I'm on, and then this kit is going to be complete. And this is the one that I actually was kitting up with you guys in last week's WIP and Chat. It was kind of a kit up and chat. And so yeah, now you're getting to see me actually working on the kit too, which is, that's fun too. I have a pen here. I have some stuff from a recent small shop haul, the one that I did for Drills and Chills week 6. This pen is from a new to me company called Leopard Leather Works. And so I haven't purchased and worked with one of their pens before, but I'm excited to use this one with you guys today. I am going to swap out this multi-placer. This is the one it came with. I ended up picking up another of these 12 placers from Diamond Art Club. I needed to get to the free shipping threshold. What's the joke? Girl math. It's like, I don't want to pay for shipping. So I'm going to add enough on there to get to free shipping and convince myself that somehow I'm saving money. So, and then the tray is from Unimade. I don't remember what color this is, but it might have been one of the ones that, it obviously has like a color gradient, but maybe it's like depending on which, where it is in the roll, you get a different color gradient. Anyway, and I'm going to use this hardened sticky wax, which is from the Creativity Squirrel. I almost said squirrel, in my single placer. And then I just got this putty in from Miranda's Crafty Corner in the scent Harvest Spice. I thought, let's keep it seasonal. And then this minder is from Amazing Craft Shop, and it's made from resin and has these gorgeous, gorgeous dried flowers in it. So I think that's everything. Let me get my tip switched out here and we'll get started with our painting. So I do have nails on, and I'm going to attempt to use my tweezers to pop, at least get the start. Yeah, there we go. If you guys have not tried these new metal multi-placers from Diamond Art Club, I am never going back to any other metal multi-placer. The downside is that they are more expensive. The ones that you will have seen me use in my WIP and Chats almost exclusively up till, a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's not going to work. Are these really cheap ones from AliExpress, literally like 49 cents each. But so like the cost factor is there. Here I have one in another pen over here. It's one of these, and it's pretty thin. It is thinner than the wider plastic multi-placers. Like, it's still thin, but Diamond Art Club ones are even thinner, honestly. And like the walls are really thin too, and so it just makes multi-placing a dream. So the Diamond Art Club ones, though, are more expensive. Like I said, so that is kind of a bummer. But for me, it's worth it. I'll just switch it out in between my pens. And I'll buy like 1 or 2 extra here and there just to sort of make it so I don't have to always switch in between. I have at least a couple in the rotation, but yeah. So what I did here is I added some washi tape to the base of this because it was too loose when I popped it in here. So you can add washi tape, and that, yeah, there we go. And now it's not loose. It's not super elegant. A more elegant solution, which, disclaimer, I have not tried this, so I cannot speak to how effective it is or anything like that, but you can, from what I hear from a lot of people saying, is you can actually use just hot glue, like use a hot glue gun and use that to really secure it. And then you can just gently twist it. If you want to move the multiplacer to another pen, you can gently twist it to sort of break the hot glue seal. One of these days I'll have to try that, but I don't know honestly where my hot glue gun is. I know I have one somewhere, I'm pretty sure. I'm not a crafty person. I don't really have a reason to have a hot glue gun. I say I'm not a crafty person, and some people might say, oh, well, you diamond paint, therefore you're crafty. And I go, well, diamond painting is really just following instructions. It's not, I don't know. I think it's a pretty, it's a low level. I don't know what the word is. I'm not trying to be insulting because I love this craft. Obviously, I'm obsessed with this craft, but I don't find it to be a creative hobby. Where did that piece of putty go that I just dropped right there? Okay. I don't find it to be a hobby that requires a lot of creativity, and I don't know, I guess more I don't need a hot glue gun for the hobby, generally speaking. So I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess diamond painting is a crafty hobby. I shouldn't say it's not crafty. I would say that I think that it doesn't necessarily require a lot of creativity, at least the way that I do it. For people that do like special drill enhancements and swaps and stuff, yeah, absolutely. There's some creativity required there, but I think of myself as not being a creative person. Instead, I just follow instructions really well, which is why I like diamond painting. I find myself drawn to hobbies and crafts that are more just, here's the instructions and you can just sort of get into a zone. Creativity, I think, just requires more brain power than I tend to want to spend on a hobby. So I don't know. I think I've heard other diamond painters express similar sentiments, so I don't think I'm alone in that. But anyway, by the way, you will see in the description box of this video, I'll have all of these small shops linked if you want to go and do some shopping and support some small shops. So I'm pretty sure this one you scrape to load. There's probably a couple of different ways you could. They included instructions, and it's honestly, I didn't read them prior to doing this, but I feel like hard waxes like this, I usually do the kind of scrape to load method. So actually, this will work. Those accessories will hang out over here. Most of my accessories are not terribly in frame at the moment, because I kind of zoomed in so you could see me diamond painting a little bit more. But anyway, also another tip. This is just gonna be a random tips video. If you're like me and you love Elizabeth Ward containers, which is what these are, but you don't want to like bust up your nails or you find them hard to open, you can grab the flat end of your tweezers and just pop it right open. So just a little tip if you didn't know. Like I said, I feel like there's always lots of new faces joining, and I don't want to assume that you might have heard these different tips or tricks before. So anyway, hi, how are you doing? I hope that your week is off to a wonderful start. I always enjoy getting to sit down and do these WIP and Chats with you to start off our week together. I really, really do. Did I misplace a die? Okay, no, I'm good. I think I just miscounted briefly. But yeah, I typically record these WIP and Chats on Sunday nights, occasionally Saturday nights. It is currently Sunday evening. And then they go up for you guys on Monday mornings. I use these as a chance to kind of decompress from the weekend and sort of shift my brain into a mode where I'm ready to kick off the upcoming week. And so I think that's why I've been leaning into Sunday evenings for these WIP and Chats more recently. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm able to sit down and actually work with you guys on this kit after getting to kit it up with you last week. And I'm always curious just to see, and to guess, are people going to mind if I do a kit up and chat as opposed to a WIP and chat? Because I know when I'm watching a WIP and chat, I actually am not even I'm never even remotely looking at the screen. I'm just listening in and sort of treating it more like a podcast. But I think there are some people that do enjoy sort of the ASMR of watching someone diamond paint. And so I always worry, I'm like, is a kid up in chat? Or the people that came that wanted to watch actual diamond painting happen, are they, going to be sad? And anyway, so I don't know. I hope you guys don't mind that I do those kid up in chats from time to time. I've also similarly heard actually that some of you guys love seeing a kid up in chat. So that was fun to get to do because it had been a while. And this kit, like I said, this is Haha Halloween from Jaded Gem Shop. And if you haven't ordered from them before, they have kind of a lot of customization type options, and it's all made to order. And so there's, it's not like it ships out super quickly after you order. It's not like they have it in hand, but they're creating basically exactly what you've ordered. And I feel like they've gotten their turnaround time quite a bit quicker than it used to be. But I like that it's highly customizable, that I can choose the exact size that I want. And even in the case of this kit, I get to choose, actually, I think I'd prefer it without the words on it. And I know I want to work at sort of this size point, and I want to work with square drills. So I do really like that. And I wasn't sure if I was going to want to spend a lot of time on this one right away because I'm coming off of another square drill kit, really similar-ish size point, and I did have some confetti in it, especially towards the end as I was finishing it up. And so I had thought I was going to want to break and go back to my round drill whip that I have going, which is Plant Witch from Distracted by Diamonds and Geneva Bowers. But I just weirdly found myself wanting to keep working on this one. And I don't know, my brain can be very, very fickle, where I really think that, I'm going to want to do this, I'm going to feel like doing that. And sometimes I'll have really strong feelings about it, like, I have to have a break from confetti, or, I just need to work on lots of round drill kits or something like that. And then sometimes my brain just surprises me and goes, no, we've just worked on a bunch of square drill confetti kits, but I'm still wanting to work on that. So here we are. And I'm surprised this kit has gone a lot more quickly than I expected, in spite of the confetti, in spite of the fact that it has squares. I've just enjoyed working on it. I haven't yet really pinned down what it is that sort of drives me crazy. Like what makes confetti enjoyable to me and what doesn't. I used to think it had to do with particular colors, but I thought it was, I really don't like doing confetti in lots of shades of green, which that could still be the case. I was thinking of my last couple of kits. I guess, the dragon kit that I did before this one didn't have any green in it, but it did have a lot of, kind of what you would think of as sort of boring neutrals, grays, browns, those kinds of colors. But I don't know, maybe I just enjoyed it a lot more because of the subject matter. I don't know. After 3.5 years of diamond painting, I still haven't nailed down exactly when confetti or when large paintings are gonna be something I'm in the mood to work on, and when I'm gonna feel like it's just torturous. I'm just follow the dopamine, right? But after I finish up this one, I'll work on Plant Witch. I am gonna guess that I will have finished Plant Witch before we do our next WIP and Chat, unless I hop over to another kit that just really grabs my attention and I continue to leave Plant Witch tabled. It will get done before the end of Drills and Chills. I definitely would like to finish it before the end of this month and have it count as a finish for Drills and Chills. I don't know, I'll probably finish this kit maybe tomorrow, which is today for you guys. And then maybe work on Plant Witch. Then I'll have some time left in the month. I could work on another Drills and Chills themed kit, but I might be done. I might be done and kind of ready to move on to a project that's not event related. I'm not sure, but Drills and Chills, it's, you know, we're maybe we're 3/4 of the way through the event at this point, and it always feels like just once the event starts, it flies, and before I know it, I feel like I blink and the event is about over. And that's happened about every year with Drills and Chills and with Summer with the Masters. I just feel like, oh my gosh, and here we are coming up on the end of the event. And I mean, no, we have 2 more weeks of weekly content and all that, but it flies. It completely flies by. But I was glad this year that I was a lot more intentional about like wanting to go through our sponsor list and make purchases from our sponsors and showcase them. I felt like I was happy that I did a better job with that this year. I really loved getting to do those small shop hauls and just get into those goodies. That is not supposed to be there. I think, that's that color that went missing earlier. Okay, you go in the little trash drill bucket. And it's fun to try out new tools too. It helps keep me from just sort of settling into, okay, these are always the tools and accessories and kits and shops that I'm going to work with. It keeps me kind of going, okay, let's make sure we're trying the variety of what's out there. And so that was a lot of fun. And I do think, I'm pretty sure I know what my last 2 weeks of Drills and Chills content are going to be, but I'd gone into this year originally thinking, I'll bring on a co-host for Drills and Chills this year so that I can not have to do all the weekly videos by myself and I can have, every other week off. And then we just were completely blown away in the best way with the overall response to the event and all the prize donations, and quickly realized, oh no, we actually are both going to need to do weekly videos in order to be able to feel like we're fully supporting this event and have the margin to give away all these prizes. It's been like 8 prizes a week basically. So, but it's been just, I feel ridiculously lucky and very, 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 very thankful. So, it's fun to get to see how this event just continues to grow and be a lot of fun. So, and I think last year for Drills and Chills, I think I had 7 event-related finishes for that year too, and I think I'm going to be at 7 again this year. So I feel like that's not too shabby. I think the other reason I might not start on another kit that's Drills and Chills specific is because my mom's going to be coming into town soon. And I do a lot less diamond painting during the day when she's visiting, which is obviously completely fine. I would much rather spend time with her, and we get a lot of house projects done, and we shop and we brunch, and that's kind of a fun tradition that we have, is that we try to find new brunch spots to try every time she's out for a visit. We brunch and shop while the kids are in school. It's delightful. So getting ready for her visit. So I don't want to start another project that then I feel like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to finish this. And then I'll just, feel stressed or like I let myself down. So I'm trying to plan ahead and be smart about it. So maybe I'm itching to maybe get back to my cross-stitch conversion project. I've been talking about that a lot, and here's what's holding me back a little bit is that I'm ready to start the 4th panel of that project, but I feel like I really want to do a cross-stitch conversion, a project update and check-in video, like film that before I start the 4th panel. And as part of that, I wanted to maybe show or time-lapse or talk through just the process of sort of refilling restocking my drill containers. That's something that was was requested last time. So what I mean by that is that for this cross-stitch conversion project, which is a really, really large project, it's going to have over 400,000 diamonds in total on it once it's complete, which, to put that into perspective, is it roughly equivalent of like 4 70 by 90 centimeter canvases, like, 4 massive landscapes or something like that. And so it has a lot of diamonds, 400,000 diamonds, that it's not really practical for me to have all 400,000 of those diamonds kitted up in storage containers, like all of them. And so instead what I did is I filled up basically 2 Elizabeth Ward trays with the 90-ish colors that are in that kit. And after I finish each panel, I go back through and I refill all the containers that are running low or that there's space to add more from. And I've just left all the diamonds that haven't fit in the containers yet in, a box basically. And I refill those in between each canvas. And so anyway, I'd gotten the request like, oh, can we see you do that and see what that looks like? And honestly, I don't feel like it's that exciting, but it's something that sure, like that would be really easy for me to go ahead and include in a progress update video. I'd be happy to do that. But when I've been feeling sort of the itch to go ahead and start back up with that cross-stitch conversion project, I haven't at the same time also had the energy or the time, or it hasn't been like practical for whatever reason in the moment to film my progress update video. And so I'm in a little bit of a catch-22. It's like, well, I'd like to go ahead and start that back up, but I also don't want to not do that progress update video. And I know a lot of you will probably very quickly say, just start it. It's not a big deal. Like you could just do a progress check-in, update later. And I know, I could, but at the same time, like, well, I mean, I do need to go ahead and refill those storage containers now. Is this like concave? It's not wanting to sit. And so it feels like, well, no, I have to do at least that part now, at least the time-lapse part right now. And it's like, well, then I need to make sure I'm doing it when I can do the time lapse. My kids aren't here either when they're at school or after they go to bed, like now. And yeah, I don't know. So that's something that I do regularly sort of fight to keep the balance of, is what I work on for content purposes for you guys and what I do for myself. And I'm highly cognizant of this because I've seen so many of my fellow creators burn out because they're so focused and they're worried about trying to create content for their audiences, or even if I don't know, it's sort of a self-imposed feeling. It's a really fine line to walk, and I don't know. It's sometimes the line gets a little bit blurred for me because most of, like the grand majority, if not all of what I do and use to create content for you guys is things that I enjoy anyway. And I would try to work on anyway. And in some ways, making videos and sharing things on Instagram and whatnot, it's helped me. It's like I've liked the ways that it's shaped how I've made choices. I like that having a channel has encouraged me and pushed me to make sure that I'm trying out a variety of different shops and not just sort of getting stuck in a rut of always working on kits from the same shops or accessories from the same shops or having the same approaches to things. I like that. I like that it stretches me and that I have that in the back of my mind and that there is like just a little bit of accountability there, but not so much that I feel like I have to do it a particular way. Yeah, it's super tricky. It's a really tricky line to walk. If you hear Adam giggling in the background, he's watching a show that I also started watching and I'm absolutely loving. I'll tell you about it later in the video. But I'm such a people pleaser. And so I very quickly can go, but I want people to like me. I want people to be happy with what I'm making and putting out there. And so you can get in your head really, really fast about that kind of thing. And I don't know. I feel like if you swing way too hard in the direction of, I just want to make content for other people, like even going so far as to go, I want to make videos that are going to mean that I grow really fast and that I get free stuff and that I am just like basically trying to not be myself and just to be what I think other people want me to be. I do feel like, you guys, the audience, you're way too smart for that. I feel like you can sniff out when people are being disingenuous or aren't being themselves from a mile away. And it's for me, I don't enjoy watching when I feel like someone is putting on a mask and just trying to put on, I don't know, like a weird persona or something. And so like I try really hard not to do that. But yeah, so this is just kind of an example with the cross-stitch conversion project where I go, well, it's not that I feel a sense of necessarily like an obligation or a sense of like, oh, people will be mad at me if I start this project without doing an update video and showing like that sort of refill process or something. I don't truly feel that way, but it's more just in my head. I'm like, that would be really nice to still do. I feel like it would be kind of a little bit of a missed opportunity if I didn't. And so now like sort of my current internal dilemma is, well, do I just let that one go for now and show it in a later progress update, which could be months from now, depending on how quickly I finish the next panel? Or do I just keep putting off starting that next panel until I feel like I have the time and everything to do that progress update? And really kind of just talking it through here has sort of helped my brain come around to the idea of like, okay, yeah, no, we can make time for this really soon. Like maybe even this week. I don't know if it'll happen this week, but at least maybe I could film that part of it and then I'd have it and I can film the rest, soon. So maybe all I had to do was just sort of talk through it. I don't know if you guys have ever had that sort of happen before. It happens a lot with my husband and I. Is just sometimes there's something we're trying to figure out and process, and really all we needed to do was talk through it and say it all out loud, and that helps us sort of come to the conclusion and understand, or I don't know how to put it. But it's like we didn't even need input from the other person. We just needed to talk it out and have someone there to be a sounding board. So yeah, you guys, thanks for being my sounding board. But yeah, so that's on the brain. And of course, thinking on just generally, like I said, making sure that I'm not just creating content for other people, but at the same time, being aware of what other people enjoy and would find helpful and would like to see. So I don't know. It's a hard line to walk. But anyway, we'll see. You guys, we'll find out. I'll have an update for you next week's WIP and Chat. I'll be able to tell you where I landed with that. Speaking of WIP and Chats and other things and processing through things, I want to thank you guys for all of the kind words and support and commiseration in a lot of ways after last week's WIP and Chat. I had a moment actually after that WIP and Chat went up on Monday where I almost went in and I took it down because I thought, man, it was very messy. I felt like I was just maybe a little bit oversharing about my mental health and just sort of felt like some like shame surrounding it and went like, I don't know if that's really what people show up for. And I don't know. I felt a little bit, I don't know, a little in my head about it. And I do want to thank you guys for being incredibly kind and supportive. And for many of you who also struggle with your mental health, that you said something too to go, oh, like, I understand. I'm right there with you. And like, it's of course, I would never, ever want anyone else to struggle with their mental health as well. But it is nice that when you are struggling to know that you're not going through it alone. And I feel like this craft and a lot of other crafts like this that are so relaxing and good for mental health, it tends to attract those that struggle. And so it's again just nice to sort of find those connections and realize that no, you're not alone. To be frank, my anxiety really only got worse after that point. And I did end up having an appointment with my doctor and talking with her, which I adore my doctor. It's she's my primary care physician. She's always very, she just listens, and I feel like she really is trying to hear and understand me. And she validates my concerns and, what I feel like I need. And she's really good at sort of responding to that too. I feel very, very fortunate to have her, but I did set an appointment with her and just said, here's what I am feeling. Here's what my anxiety is doing with my brain. And when I think it's time for me to start back on some medication after all, in combination with talk therapy. So right now I am sort of in that process of getting on a new medication and seeing, okay, is this going to work for me? I'm a few days in at this point, and it's, it's always an adjustment period, and it can be a little bit of trial and error to figure out, okay, is this something that I feel like is going to work for me? And I don't know if this one will be it or not. I'm trying something new, different from what I've tried in the past, and we'll see. I know you just got to give it time. It has affected my sleep a little bit, and so I'm playing around with what time I want to make sure that I'm taking it, and just sort of seeing. We're just going to see if the side effects do level out. They tend to be the worst. I should say up front here, I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is anecdotal. This is what my doctor told me that was specific to my exact situation and all of that. So this is not medical advice. Please do not take it as such. Consult your doctor, please, with any of this stuff. My doctor informed me for my situation was that, it can take a few weeks and sometimes gets worse before it gets better. And I mean, I've done this kind of song and dance before, and I am just, I am currently, I'm like, it's not so bad that I feel like I can at least wait and see if it's going to get better. But if it does get to a point where I'm like, I can't even wait and see, my doctor did make a point of saying, if it gets to that point, like, it's okay to go, okay, I don't even want to try to wait through that adjustment period. So, which I appreciate that as well. So, we'll see, but I don't know. I don't want this to be a space where I'm always talking about my mental health, because I don't know if that's necessarily what you come here for. I don't want to be like a trauma dumper, or, if you're coming here to sort of get a little break from life and things. So I'll try to find a balance here where it's not always heavy and always me talking about that. But I thought I would mention an update. And I did have my second appointment with my therapist, my talk therapist, and it went better than my first. And I am gonna, at least give it a couple more weeks. It wasn't like I had this second appointment and went, okay, definitely no. At the second appointment, I thought, okay, let's give it a little longer. Let's see. So, we're just, that is currently the phase I'm in, is, okay, is this working with both my therapist and my medication? So, I am extremely thankful for a supportive husband and family and friends that are all about like, yeah, no, you do whatever you need to make sure you're taking care of your mental health. So, and a doctor, and a supportive doctor. So, that's kind of that little update. One last thing I was just going to mention, because I have heard from others in the past that this was kind of an important thing for them to realize. I know it was definitely an important thing for me to realize at the time. And now I know this about myself, and it was actually really informative for me to be able to share with my doctor and, of course, to talk with my therapist and go, this is something that, sorry, you guys, I finished a section. Now I'm shifting things. We're going to open up the next section together. It was helpful for me to be able to say these things to my therapist. So often things with mental health can manifest in ways that you wouldn't necessarily expect. So again, not medical advice, not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, not a therapist, just my own personal experience. Wow, that glare is bad. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think once we start putting diamonds down, that's going to help. But my apologies for that glare. So things like anxiety and depression can look different than the commercials for anti-anxiety and antidepressants would make you look or make you think. So anxiety doesn't always look like worrying, like just sitting here, like chewing on your fingernails and worrying. Sometimes anxiety looks like anger. Depression doesn't always look like being unable to get out of bed. Sometimes it does. Sometimes depression looks like, I don't like things that I love anymore, or can affect, just it can be headaches. It can be, stuff like that. And so like that was, especially the anxiety can manifest as anger, was really sort of revelatory for me, I guess. So I guess I just thought I would mention that in passing in case that's something that hadn't occurred to you and maybe might be helpful. But anyway, we're going to move on from those topics. Thanks for letting me share. Quick updates on the kiddos and what's been going on with them. So I thank you also for all of the encouragement and positive thoughts and prayers for my youngest son with his ENT appointment last week. It went actually better than I expected, but it was rough. The good news is that the ENT was able to get a really good look in his ears and was able to sort of see more of what is going on in there. So Micah does still have tubes in his ears, as it turns out. I wasn't sure if they might have fallen out. So Micah had tubes put in his ears, I think it was about 4 years ago now, because he kept getting ear infections. And that's, in case you didn't know, that's the way that they will sort of try to help prevent ear infections with, kids that keep getting them, is they'll put tubes in their ears. They're very, very small. They're very, very small, which is why I wasn't sure if they had fallen out and I just hadn't seen them. But as it turns out, they're still in there, which is a bit unusual according to the ENT. So usually they've fallen out by this point. Micah still has both in his ears, and in each of his ears. Well, one in each of his ears. The ones that were, they're still there. And so the ENT said, well, the tubes are still there, but the one ear is just draining and draining and draining. And so it almost sounds like that maybe it's possible that now the tubes are actually causing a problem, at least in that ear. I'm not entirely sure. I admit that I didn't think to ask in the moment and say, isn't this why the tubes are there? Like, the draining is supposed to be good because that prevents infection. But anyway, so the ENT said we have two options. He said option number one, and obviously the more preferable option, is to do eardrops. He said, you've done the oral antibiotic. He said oral antibiotics just really aren't going to work well for this kind of infection and what's going on here. He said antibiotic eardrops are really the way to go. He said the other option is basically going in and suctioning it off. They'd have to put him under, it'd be surgery, and suction the fluid out. I was like, oh, yeah, no, obviously we don't want to do that if we can avoid it. And so I did express, some trepidation, and was really honest and had said, I know he's not going to be happy about doing the eardrops whatsoever. We really don't have any other options besides that or surgery. Your doctor said nope. He It's like, I really want you to do these eardrops for a month, and then we'll check in and see how things are looking. And he said it's possible, if that's not going to work, we actually may need to go in and take the tubes out. I said, okay. So we will try our darndest. And so Adam and I strategized, and we have a whole thing where like now, not only do we have to put the eardrops in Micah's ear, but he has to lay on that side for 5 minutes so that the eardrops don't just slide right back out his ears after we put them in. And so now it's like, okay, Micah gets my phone for 5 minutes, and he doesn't like at all having the eardrops put in, but he is doing really, really well with it, and he will actually stay still enough to lay on his side for those 5 minutes because he gets to play on my phone. 5 minutes are over, phone's done, he gets to get up, and we're okay. So we'll see. Like I said, we have to do this for a month and go back in to check and see how things are looking. And I mean, yeah, I don't know what we do about the tubes, but I'm pretty well inclined to trust this ENT because he is, he's the one that everyone recommends. He's known to be like one of the best ENTs in Southern California. He just happens to be in our network and who our pediatrician everyone refers out to. So it's like, I really am inclined to trust his judgment on this one. But I don't love it. I don't love that we don't know like what we're going to have to do about these tubes. So, but anyway, hopefully that's going to give Micah some, relief from any pain he's been having related to this. And it already does seem to be better. Some of the issues that we were seeing, like there's some stinkiness, and stuff. And so we are seeing an improvement with the eardrops for sure. And we're several days into that now. So, just trying to get everyone on track and healthy and all the things. So, but we made it through that. As far as my oldest, Connor, I actually yesterday got to get some one-on-one time with him. I had said something to Adam about, like on Friday. I said, I just feel like Micah just pulls a lot of my attention, a lot of my time and energy just by nature with the needs that he does have and with the sensory seeking he does and everything. And I said, I feel like I'm missing out on, Connor. I feel like I think for me to really get that, for him to get really my uninterrupted attention, I said, I think I just need to, like, Connor and I need to go out and do like a little date. So, on Saturday, I took Connor out and we went to the library together. He has been really, really into chapter books and just devouring them, like doing a lot of reading at night before bed. And he's flying through them. He's really into the Magic Treehouse series, which, was my brother's favorite book series and got my brother into reading when I was growing up. I remember. And so my parents had actually, when they came out in the summer, they brought out a bunch of my brothers. They had saved like a lot of those Magic Treehouse books and they brought them out for Connor to read. So we didn't have to like buy them or be going to the library or counting on the library to have them, because Connor would read those books in like 2 days. And so I thought, well, let's go to the library. And so we went to the library and picked out, half dozen books. And he was thrilled about that. And then we were trying to go and take a look at maybe some Halloween costumes. Connor's decided he would like to be Spider-Man this year. And I don't know if we'll try to like kind of do family coordinating costumes or just sort of everyone do their own thing. But, and then we went on a donut date, which if you've been around for a little bit, you may have heard me mention these before. But donut dates sort of came about when Connor was pretty young. I think 3 or 4, maybe. I think 3. And my mom was in town and was going to be watching the kids so Adam and I could go out on a date. And Connor was asking where we were going and why he couldn't go with us. So no, Mom and Dad we're going on a date. That's just, it's important because that means we get just the two of us, and have some quality time together and get to talk and everything. And he had said, well, I want to go on a date. And my mom suggested, she's like, well, Connor, why don't we go on a date? You and me, we can go on a date tomorrow. Connor was like, okay. And I don't remember how exactly donuts became the thing, but that was kind of what they ended up doing. And they'd gone to a Dunkin' Donuts, and Connor thought that the DD in the Dunkin' Donuts logo stood for donut date. And so now that just has become a thing. We go to Dunkin' Donuts and have a donut date. And what we do is we get donuts in the drive-thru and then go sit in the car, and Connor gets to climb up into the passenger seat beside me, and we just sit and talk and eat our donuts. And it was really, really good for my heart, and I think for Connor too, to just be able to go out, just the two of us, and get like I'm getting a little teary because I am just the biggest emotional sap in the world. But I think that was really good for us to get that one-on-one time, and I just got to talk to him, and without always being interrupted by a little brother and everything. And I loved getting to do that. I want to make sure I'm being more intentional about that sort of thing and not missing out on that. So so that was our weekend. And then today was really uneventful. Honestly, we really, really should have taken the kids to the park after all, because they were wired. At the end of the day, they were both almost dropped the pen, both kind of bouncing off the walls at bedtime. And I was like, oh no. Adam and I are both like, whoops. should have taken them out. Micah like randomly took a nap this afternoon, and that's pretty unusual for him. I mean, he slept in this morning, but he all of a sudden, it's been a long time since he did this, but I recognized what was happening. He kind of got cranky, and like he didn't want to play, and he didn't want to like talk or be hugged or anything, and he just kind of was like trying to find a way to get comfortable on the couch. I was like, I think you're about to try to go to sleep. And so I tried to get him like snuggled up with one of the comfy big throw pillows that we have on the couch, and then he conked out. It was just like a 15-20 minute cat nap, and then he popped up and he was bright-eyed, bushy-tails. I just thought, okay. And then I think he was just extra energized the rest of the day. But anyway, and then Adam's doing well. He went to a friend's Halloween party last night, which I was invited to, of course, and they said, oh, we hope Katie can come. But it's tricky. It's really tricky, you guys. Adam's parents live about an hour from us, and so they can watch the kids, but it's not a small ask. It's not an easy ask for them to like come up and stuff. And so we try to really sort of spread out how often that happens. And, they did come up and watch the kids so we could go to Hadestown last week, the musical. And I know I mentioned it before, but struggle with being comfortable with and trying to find someone that I feel like I'm okay with babysitting the kids that isn't someone that I otherwise necessarily know. So that's something that is still on my list to try to do. But yeah, I feel like people that don't necessarily have kiddos don't always totally understand. It's not a diss at all. But just, that it's not as simple as like, oh, just get a sitter. Just have Adam's parents come up. It's like, well, it's we're not holding it against you whatsoever for not realizing, but just letting you know, like, unfortunately, it's not quite that easy. It's not that simple. And especially when you've got kids with a little bit of extra needs. So, but I would like to try to do that. I really would like to try to do that, to give Adam and I a little bit more freedom to get to do, dates and go to things. Like, it would have been nice if I could have gone to the Halloween party with him, but not a big deal. Yes, it was early. One of the gals that was hosting is going out of town, I think, at the end of the month, and so they wanted to try to make it happen earlier in the month. And they had a lot of fun. So But yeah, that was our week and weekend. As far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, not really anything new to report on the reading front. I have not started the last Throne of Glass book just yet. But I mean, like I mentioned before, I always have a variety of Archive of Our Own tabs open, which is, it's a not-for-profit hub for fan works. And yeah, so mostly just that. And then as far as watching though, you guys, yesterday I started, and this has been on my watch list for a while, but I finally sat down and started Our Flag Means Death. And I love it. And that's what Adam has been watching in the background. If you've heard him like kind of giggle from time to time. Like I said, I've been on my watch list for a while. And what tends to happen is that various authors or pages that I follow for one fandom will often cross-post about other fandoms, and I go, well, like if they liked this fandom, and from what I'm seeing them post about this other fandom, you know, I know that we shared this one taste, like maybe I'll give this other fandom a try. And so I'd seen a lot about Our Flag Means Death, and so I was just kind of ready to start a new show. I was kind of in the mood to start a new show. And so I asked Adam, I was like, do we still have HBO Max, which is now apparently just called Max? I was like, is that membership active, or do we cancel that? He's like, oh, yeah, no, it's still, like, we have it right now. And so I said, okay, can I have the login? He's like, yeah, sure. And so he was giving it to me. He's like, what are you going to watch? I was like, oh, I was going to start Our Flag Means Death. And initially he was like, oh, shoot, I want to watch that one too. And I said, dude, we can't add in another show that we want to make sure we're staying to like only watching together, like at the same time, like sitting down to watch. I said, we are so slow to get through those shows that are on that list, which right now mostly consists of Clone Wars and Loki. And there's a few others that it's like we want to get to and we're holding off on watching until we can watch it together. But this one I was like, you know, can I please just start this show? And he's like, yeah, no, it's fine. And it's delightful. So he started watching it today because I said something to him about like, oh, you'd like the show, you should watch it. So he started it earlier today, and he described it really well. He's like, it's basically a pirate office comedy. And I was like, that's a really good way to describe it. It's very light. I think it's actually technically classified as a rom-com. But it's delightful. There is some language. There are F-bombs. Like literally episode 5 or 6 is called The Art of F-ery. F-bombery. And I mean, it's funny because you guys don't hear me swear in my videos. And I'm a fan of not overusing swear words. I like to save my swears to be used more sparingly for a couple of reasons. Well, I think that it like loses its effectiveness, and also I think it's hilarious when people don't expect me to swear, and I just like casually will drop in a well-placed F-bomb and people's like they about jump out of their skin, and I'm like, that was fun. But anyway, I don't mind it in a show if it's done well, which in this case I don't mind it. As I was watching the first episode yesterday, I was like, this has a certain vibe to it. And then the credits were almost like directed by Taika Waititi. And I was like, that's it. That's why. I mean, he's directed a bunch of stuff, and he's just around a lot of like shows and movies right now. But anyway, it's delightful. It's very light and funny. And I'm a fan. So if you're looking for a show to watch. But like I said, it's, minor language warning. I had to Google ahead of time because I don't really do gore and violence and like gratuity. And it did say it was like, the violence that is in here is very cartoony, like it's comedic. And I would say that is accurate. So I'm a fan. And I guess season 2 that's probably why I'm hearing about it. So I believe season 2 just kind of started airing, and they're dropping the episodes gradually. So, but I'm enjoying that. I'm halfway through the first season. I watched like the first 5 episodes practically in one sitting last night because Adam was at the Halloween party. I was just sitting in diamond painting and I started the show and I just couldn't put it down. So, and here we are. So, you guys will have to let me know. Have you seen the show? Have I piqued your interest? I'm a fan, but, and then other things I'm watching. I've been like kind of watching some Supernatural in the background, just kind of from time to time. I think I'm on season 30. Yeah, I'm on season 13 now. And then Adam and I have been watching Loki, which actually I'm stoked because after I finish this WIP and Chat, we're going to go watch episode 2, which dropped a few days ago, but Adam was gone Friday and Saturday night. Why couldn't we do Thursday? There was a reason we couldn't do Thursday night. We couldn't watch it like the evening it dropped. But then I was like, I can't believe, like I said, of course I'm going to wait for you to watch it, but I can't believe we have to wait until like Sunday night at the earliest. So I did make a point of telling him, it's like, once I finish this WIP and Chat, I really want to go watch episode 2 of Loki. I'm a fan. I went back and I did rewatch. It was a quick, easy binge, again, like a 2-day thing. Season 1 of Loki, just kind of refresh my memory, and also because, like, who doesn't want to rewatch Tom Hiddleston as Loki? And it's just, yeah, that's one of my favorite characters, just of all time. And so and it helps that the show is so wonderful. So I'm living my best, happiest life right now with TV shows that I'm enjoying and things that are coming out. So, as far as, and then what am I listening to? Nothing new, nothing exciting. It's Taylor. It's always Taylor. I was going to pick back up the Supernatural Then and Now podcast, which is like a rewatch podcast hosted by a couple of the guest stars of Supernatural. Hear Adam laughing at Our Flag Means Death again. I really want to ask him, like, what's the line? What line are they cracking now? But I did want to like start listening to that again to kind of give them some support just after like the SAG and Producers Guild negotiations like fell through again, which was such a huge bummer to see. And so they're still striking. So it's like, what are some ways that we can still try to be supportive to actors and stuff right now? So that's kind of on my brain. Maybe I can put in some listening hours there at least. So anyway, as far as videos this week and what's coming up, excuse me, I'm about to yawn. I am yawning. Okay. As far as what's coming up this week, well, I do need to do a regular small shop haul. I did a Drills and Chills sponsor small shop haul this past weekend, but I have a lot of packages that are, just can be a part of a regular small shop haul that I'm thinking I'd like to do. I have a kit or two I need to decide what to unbox on, and I'll have a Drills and Chills video for you on Saturday, which I think will be a set of Halloween tag questions. And then I'll have a Diamond Art Club sneak peek for you on Friday, I believe. And so it'll just be a matter of what about my Tuesday and Thursday videos to be, or my Wednesday and Thursday videos, depending on when I can film. So anyway, we made some good progress on this kit. I know that the glare is really bad on this left half, but you can kind of see how this has come together. Lots of yellows and oranges. It's very glowy. There's like a cobweb or spider web down here. Oh no. The yawning is really bad. The anti-anxiety med that I started, it just really it makes me feel sleepy, and it also messes with my sleep just a little bit at the moment. So anyway, if you made it all the way to the end, what should we do? Okay, last week I just said generically an orange emoji. This week, how about a fox emoji if you can find it. If you can't, that's fine. And let me know how you were doing and what you were working on while we chatted today. And if you have any fun plans coming up this week. But thanks for spending some time with me today and letting me just talk and share. I'm glad I was in. I feel like I was in a pretty good, headspace with things and not, too stressed or, doom and gloom or anything like that. I was happy to get to sit down and chat with you guys. But yeah, we made some nice progress. There it is, that again. And all the tools I used today worked great. New pen. I haven't used the hard and sticky wax in a while, and so that was good to use again. The putty was awesome as always. And yeah, so all good things. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that you have a day and a week that is as amazing as you are, and I'll chat with you in the next one. Bye.